$536.85. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dee and this is Dee's Reading Lounge, where I'm sharing my love for reading at my own pace. Yes, you heard me right. $536.85. Your girl spent that amount of money on physical books. And I need to do something about that because, y'all, I haven't read one book that I have bought since January, the new books, since January to now, which is March the 6th. It's March the 6th now. It's almost like an addiction. I just read a book called Lucky about addiction. And this is borderline like a book shopping addiction. And I don't like to be impulsive or feel like I am addicted to anything. And I know for a fact that I would not have spent this amount of money on books if I did not have this booktube channel, and I was not really being influenced by all you guys, okay, that I watched. And I know I am guilty as well. I'm not, exempt from that. I know I have influenced you guys to buy books too, but I just need to be a lot smarter because one of my goals this year was to read more and buy less. And so far, spending $536 on books is not smart. It's not smart, okay? It's not smart, and I'm definitely failing. So before this quarter is done, I've already failed, okay? I've already failed miserably, but I'm trying to turn the tables, turn it around. And that's why I thought I would go ahead and put this video out into the universe to keep me accountable because number one, I have financial goals. I am trying to pay off a student loan that I've been paying for years, okay, for years off this year, or get it down to $5,000. Since I started paying my student loan off last year, I started aggressively attacking my principal balance. In July, I have paid off, I will put the figure right here. I'm doing well. So I am still paying large chunks of money to my student loans, but y'all, $536 could have gone to my student loan. What the heck am I doing? What am I doing? So this video is going to, I need to figure out a plan. So first, before I tell you what my plan is, which is a book buying ban, I'm going to ban myself from buying physical books. I will still allow ebooks because I only spend $3 here and there, maybe once a month, twice a month, something like that. So I still am going to allow that, but these physical books gotta go, okay? Because number one, I don't have enough space, okay? I don't want to make more room for books. I want to keep my collection on the small side. That's just what I prefer. We gotta figure this out. So I thought I would do a book haul, show you all the books that I have not shown before, like you've never seen these books before because they are new. I didn't haul them. So if I showed the books in another video, like my physical TBR books, those were some new books. I'm not going to show them again here. And so let's go ahead and get started. All right. So the first new book that you guys have never seen is this book right here. This is The Frozen River by Ariel Lawhon. This is historical fiction. And I think I was watching someone that I like to watch. Her name is Brandy or Bandy. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, but she loved this book, and the way she described it made me want to read it. It's about a midwife. It's set in 1789 in Maine. When the Kennebec River freezes, entombing a man in ice, Martha Ballard is summoned to examine the body. As a midwife and healer, her diary is a record of every birth and death, crime and debacle that unfolds in this close-knit community of Hallowell. Months earlier, Martha documented the details of alleged rape committed by two of the town's most respected gentlemen, one of whom has been found dead in the ice. But when a male physician declares the death accidental, Martha is forced to investigate on her own. So that sounds really good, and I am looking forward to reading that one, like I said. So the next book, no rhyme or reason why I bought this book. I bought it from Amazon. It's called The Honey Tree. It's a historical fiction too. You guys know I'm a historical fiction girly. That's just my jam. So it says, an unforgettable tale of courage, compassion, and the pursuit of freedom. Maggie has always accepted life's constraints. That is until she witnesses a breathtaking moment of liberation as a butterfly breaks free from a spider's web. And this small defiant act sparks a fire within her soul. And it says that's a dangerous thing for a field slave in 1850. So that right there sounds so good, something so normal, like a butterfly escaping a spider's web. How that could lead to whatever happened next with that character is what made me buy this book. And so the next book I bought is one that a lot of people have been talking about, so I just bit the bullet. So most of these books were bought on either thriftbooks.com, which I said I know I was going to stop buying on their site because of the last incident that happened. But because their books are so cheap, okay, I'm willing to continue purchasing books from them because I just don't want to be spending full price on books, okay? I will, but the majority I would like to get a significant, get my books at a significant discount. So I bought this on Thrift Books. This is The Street by Ann Petrie. It's supposed to be like a classic book. I'm not gonna go into this. I did spray these books down with Lysol and wiped them down really good when I get my used books. So it says it's a powerful, uncompromising work of social criticism. To this day, few works of fiction have so clearly illuminated the devastating impact of racial injustice. And so this author has also written other books, The Narrows, Country Place, Miss Muriel, and Other Stories. The Street was her first novel, and I hear it's phenomenal. So that is The Street by Ann Petrie. Next, I don't think I showed this book, but I got this one from Thrift Books as well. Came in good condition, as well as I'm happy with the condition that The Street came in. Is pretty good. This one came in good condition. This is J. California Cooper. I wanted to get all of her books, and I think with this one makes her collection complete for me. So far, I've read 2 books. I just read Life, what is it? The Matter is Life in February. It's March now. And this is also a short story collection. Some love, some pain, some time. Okay, so the next one is When I Was a Slave. This is a memoir from a slave narrative collection. I forgot who was talking about this book, and because I like historical fiction, slave narratives, went ahead and picked that one up. This next book, I just wanted to buy it, but I was really hesitant, like, girl, you don't need to be buying no more books until you read the ones that you have. But I just impulsively bit the bullet and I purchased this one. This one is called Red River by Lolita Tatamy. She is the author of Cane River, which I read in January. This is like a follow-up. It's not a sequel, but it's a follow-up. I believe it follows the Men story. So it says April 13, 1873. What happened that day in a small southern town of Colfax, Louisiana was called the Colfax Riot, but it was but I can't read. But it was something far more devastating, and for 2 unforgettable families, the Smiths and the Tatamys, it would have repercussions that would forever change the lives of future generations. Weaving together history and the story of her own family. So this is also a story that she's created in historical fiction, narrative form, but it also is about her true events from her own family. It's a dramatic tale of 2 families struggling to survive in America, deeply divided after the Civil War, an epic novel of violence, courage, and dreams broken and strengthened. Red River explores the issues that resonate to this day as it illuminates the sometimes heartbreaking choices we all must make to claim the legacy that is ours. So like I said, I think this is based on the Men in her last novel, the Cane, or not the last novel, the Cane River, I think. We'll see. I think I read that somewhere. Okay, so the next one I got because of Lex Reed here on YouTube. I do love watching her videos. She loves historical fiction like I do. We seem to have similar tastes. So she loves this author, Jesse Redmond Fawcett. And other than Zora Neale Hurston, I don't think I've ever dived into the Harlem Renaissance authors. And so I thought I would give Plum Bun a try. It says a novel without a moral. It doesn't even have anything on the back, like what it's about. So we're going to leave it at that and go into it kind of blind. The next one I got is by Dolan Perkins Valdez. I do have, what is that book? Take My Hand. Take My Hand. I do have that book. Haven't read it yet. Why I need to buy this one. I haven't read the first book I have by her. Crazy. Wench. I just wanted it. I wanted it because I'm interested. I'm interested in this author's work, and if I like her, I wanted to have some books on hand. I also got this from Thrift Books, so it didn't cost me an arm and a leg. And you know, I'm okay with the used book somewhat, but again, the space, that money could have gone to my student loan. Anyway, so it says, situated in Ohio, a free territory before the Civil War, Tawawa House is an idyllic retreat for Southern white men who vacation there every summer with their enslaved black mistresses or wenches. It's their open secret. Lizzie, Rennie, and Sweet are regulars at the resort, building strong friendships over the years. But when Mawu, as fearless as she is assured, comes along and starts talking of running away, things change. So that's all I'm going to say about that. It sounded very interesting, historical fiction, love it. Wench. The next one I have is This Close to Okay by Lisa Cross Smith. I don't have any other books by this author. So it says, I also got this from Thrift Books. It says, on a rainy October night in Kentucky, recently divorced therapist Tally Clark is on her way home from work when she spots a man precariously standing at the edge of a bridge. Without a second thought, Tally pulls over and jumps out of the car into the pouring rain. She convinces the man Emmett to join her for a cup of coffee, and he eventually agrees to come back to her house. Over the course of the emotional charged weekend that follows, Tally makes it her mission to provide a safe space for Emmett, though she hesitates to tell him her day job. As they inch closer to the truth of what brought him to the bridge's edge, as well as the hard truths she's been grappling with since her marriage ended, This Close to Okay tells an uplifting, cathartic story about chance encounters, hope found in unlikely moments, and the subtle magic of human connection. So, you know, that sounded pretty interesting, different contemporary fiction. So got that one. The next one is An Untamed State by Roxane Gay. I have read, I think, one book. I don't remember what it was because it's so long ago, by Roxane Gay. And Dee Dee from Brown Girl Reading influenced me to buy this book. And like I mentioned, I like reading about trauma and how people overcome trauma. It's just very relatable to read other people's stories. So this one says, riveting, captivates from its opening sentence and doesn't let go. You'll tear through an untamed state, but ponder it long after. That's all I'm going to read because I kind of want to go into this really, really blind because I'm going to make sure my head is right first, and then I'm going to go into it blind. But just know that it's going to be a lot of trauma. So this is still packaged. And let me go ahead and unwrap this one. Okay, so these books came from Amazon, but they looked used. They kind of look used, and I think, yeah, this is a used book, y'all. God, Amazon. So these may be used books that someone was selling on Amazon. I guess I didn't realize that. Anyway, this one is called Something Good by Vanessa Miller. And Vanessa Miller writes spiritual contemporary fiction, women's literature, novels. And so I was interested, one thing I do want to get into this year is to read more sisterhood novels based on Christian themes and things like that. So this one says Alexis Marshall never meant to cause the accident that left John Robinson paralyzed, but though guilt plagues her, her husband hopes to put the past behind them. After all, he's in the middle of selling a tech business. And if Alexis admits to texting while driving, the deal could collapse and cost them millions. So this is, I think, also, like I said, a Christian based story, human connection, and making things right, redemption, things like that. So that is why I was interested in getting this one. And although this is a used book, I'm going to go back and look to see if they disclose that to me. And if so, I'm just going to keep it because it's not that bad. And I need to check to see how much they charge me for this book because I'm not going to pay $13 for a used book. Mm-mm. And then this one is The Light on Halsey Street, I think by the same author. You'd think they would have the author's name on the front of the book, but it doesn't. So yeah, it is by the same author. I kind of wanted to go with the same author with the Christian themed books just to get a sense of the writing and things like that. So this one says, in the summer of 1985, Lisa Whitaker is a church kid headed to college on a scholarship while her best friend Dana is floundering in the wake of her mother's latest eviction. Though Lisa tries to help, their paths diverge. 15 years later, Lisa has a beautiful family and is stepping into her dream job as a director for a social services organization. Everything is going right until her future is snatched away by identity theft. Her life begins to unravel, and Lisa wants nothing more than to see the woman responsible for paying for her crimes. And so, redemption, forgiveness, Christian themed book. So interested in that book. So I'm going to do some research on this book, and if I paid more than a certain amount, this will be going back, unfortunately. All right, so let's talk about how I'm going to combat my needless, wasteful spending on books. So I am going to put myself on a physical book buying ban until, let's say, June. Okay, let's just give me a window. April, May, June. 3 months. I'm not going to say to the end of the year because I want to be realistic. I can go 3 months without buying books, okay? And all of that money that I would have bought on random books, I think I'm going to go through my wish list. The books that I put on my wish list, I'm going to gather that money up and I'm going to make a extra payment. I already do that anyway. I make about 3 extra payments. Well, of my regular payment for my student loan, an extra principal payment, and then on the day my regular payment comes out, I make a large payment, so it will go to the principal only. So that's the way I'm going to do it. I'm going to put books on my wish list that I would have bought probably because I've been buying books anyway, and I am going to take that money and I'm going to make an extra payment. That way I am able to see what me not buying books is, how it's helping me pay down my student loan, okay? So that's number one. I'm going on a book buying ban for 3 months. I'm going to evaluate things to see how things go. I'm going to make extra payments based on the books I think I would have bought during this time or per month. And then I'm going to reassess. What did I say in June? I'm going to reassess things in June. Come back to tell you how much I saved, how much I put extra to my student loan because I wasn't buying books. Now I am going to allow myself to buy ebooks here and there. I don't buy a whole lot of ebooks, maybe once or twice a month, if that. And I won't put any limits on that because they're usually cheap, $2.99. Sometimes I get them free. I'm not going to be buying any used books either. Just limit myself to ebooks. So that's where I'm going to start. for right now. And I have enough books to last probably years, y'all, years. So there really is no reason for me to be buying any more books. So I'm really going to try to stick to this. If I fail or if I fall short, okay, because we all fall short, I will let you guys know and show the book and somehow try to make up for that. But that's it, you guys. That is my little book confession, my little haul. But I mean, little. I've spent over $500 in books, and I know it's been more since going on this journey, and I don't even want to think about that. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.